What is up, guys? Today we will cover Paul's battle strategy. What should we do, why it should be done, and how to get it done. Without further ado, let's get on to it. Before we get into the three main points, first things first, we need to know Paul's main moves. So, this is the list of his moves we should use at least once in every battle. If you already knew his moves, then you can skip to the next timestamp. Okay, now that we've covered his main moves, let's move on to the first main thing. What should we do as Paul? If you've been playing as Paul for a while, you will notice there are a few moves which, if you're able to land it properly, it will take a huge chunk of your opponent's life bar. And it should be your main purpose in every battle, to land these moves as often as you can to make the match ended early as soon as possible. The first one is this. Do a lot of this move in your battle, mix this with feint, don't hit the 2 at the end. Next, do the full moves with 2 pressed on. If your opponent is not patient enough to wait and block all of these moves, he will eat the last punch. And be ready to throw a dead fish immediately to follow up. Next up is this move. We should not be doing these moves a lot because of its super easy predictability. Most of the high level players already knew they only need to duck at the last punch. So I highly advise we use it in unpredictable timing, so we caught them off guard and got a counter hit for a huge damage. If you saw your opponent already ducked at the last punch, you have 2 options now. Either you stop at the second hit, or hit 3 for the last hit. If you happen to land a counter hit, you definitely should use one for finisher to get a full damage, and go straight for your combos. Next is to use power crush at the right timing. If you 100% knew what's coming and already prepared to block, by all means use one of those 2 of Paul's power crush. Not only we disrupt our opponent's moves, but if we keep interrupts him halfway, sooner or later he will get scared of being countered and his moves will be limited. Next is one of Paul's best moves in the game. Use forward 1-4 to bypass almost everything in the game. Almost. If you somehow manage to read your opponent's rhythm, you almost can guess when he is coming for you. Use this move exactly right away with the same time he moves. Or, if you're able to predict his next move, do this move one step ahead. The last one is Paul's number one selling point. Hit at the right time to dominate and make a comeback. Whenever you're in a tight situation, most of the time, you only need to launch your opponent one time, and you win the round. So, save your hit, keep pounding, and don't leave any room for counterattack. Do your dead fish while in hit, mix up your high and low, keep him still at the wall, don't make mistakes, and you will definitely win the round. Before we close, the last thing is to closing the gap. This moves is your signature. This is what saves you from many games and many situations. Most of Paul's moveset is meant to be done in a very close range. By utilizing this move, you will find yourself right back on the track and keep pressuring your opponent in a tight space. So that's it guys. In summary, of all of the main moves which we already covered, some of them are very exceptional from the others. You will find yourself throwing one of those very often because you find it worked for the most of the time. Keep throwing a little bit of poking with down forward 1-1, mix your high and low, use power crush at the right timing, interrupts your opponent with forward 1-4, close the distance, use that fish while in hit, keep pressuring opponents at close distance, especially at the wall. Remember, whenever we are at the wall, it is our winning pattern. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate if you could give the video a like to boost the channel algorithm. Take care now and see you in the next video.